Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jelly's Journeys. Today, I'm going to take you on the tour of the Mob Museum, which I personally feel is one of the most underrated attractions in Vegas. So, we're going to start on the third floor because that's where you begin the tour. It's on the third floor. And as soon as you walk in, which isn't going to be shown here, you're able to take like a picture in front of one of those interrogation rooms. But this is just taking you around the organized crime maps where they did racketeering, things of that nature. Very, very interesting to see. And from there, you're in another room that takes you through some of the Vegas and Nevada history, the Boulder Dam. You're able to see artifacts. One thing that I did like about this museum is they have tons of videos that you can also watch that tells you things about the St. Valentine's Day massacre, some of the Nevada history on how they started some of the casinos. They explain some of the artifacts, things of that nature, which is very interesting. So from this room, you're able to go into one of my favorite rooms and watch a video on the St. Valentine's Day massacre. It's a very interesting story. They have the victims of that massacre posted on the walls, as well as artifacts of the different revolvers, the Tommy guns, all of the other weapons that were used by the mob, as well as the bullet shell casings that they retrieved from the victims. You are then able to go into another room where they talk a little bit more about the racketeering projects that they were in, as well as the execution of some of the mobsters. This is one of the execution chairs that you can play around with, turning on and off the electricity. And then from there, you're able to do like this touch screen experience where you can choose a city and then look at the history of that city and the mob within that city. So they tell you about the greatest hits and the current crimes that go along with that city as well. So you can choose any of those cities that they showed in the organized crime map, which I found to be very, very interesting. And you can spend a lot of time on that as well. And as I also mentioned before, they have lovely videos and screens where you can learn all about some of the organized crime that was done. In this case, it was about smuggling the drugs through tomato cans in pizza parlors. So overall, really, really enjoyed the third floor. This museum can take tons of time to go through because there's tons of videos as well as tons of reading, but very, very interesting readings, very interactive things that you can also do as well. So really enjoyed this. So from the third floor, the next step is going to be the second floor. And the second floor is going to take you through the courtroom and some of the gambling / casino stories of the mob. So within the courtroom, you have a little snack booth that you can go stop for a quick snack after all that reading on the third floor. And then you can look at some of the TV broadcasting of the mob, the good and the bad, as well as some of the first courtroom hearings that they broadcasted on television. This is the courtroom, which you're able to sit down and watch probably like a 10-minute video of some of the famous courtroom hearings from the mob. I recommend sitting down and looking at that. It was very, very, very interesting. And then after transitioning from that courtroom, you're able to get some of the history of the casinos, more particularly the Flamingo and how that casino was started by one of the famous mobsters. So really, really enjoyed this floor. You get to also look at some of the gambling hacks / tricks that they've done as well. You get to identify a scam on a live projection screen to try to figure out when the scam is actually happening. And this is one of my favorite photos. It says the mob is always with us. So very interesting. So from the second floor, you go to the first floor in the basement. So the first floor is going to have a lot to deal with all of the mobsters. You can read all of their histories on the wall, as well as things like wiretapping and other activities that were going on, a little bit more about the organized crime as well. But one thing that I did enjoy is that we were able to purchase like a CSI add-on. And in that CSI add-on, you're able to take your fingerprints and see what mobster you most likely identify with. You're able to do ballistics as well as perform a virtual autopsy. And then we were able to check out the speakeasy as well and had some delicious drinks as well as some delicious bite-sized foods. So that is the overview of the Mod Museum. I hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. Like I said, I highly recommend this museum. You could easily spend 4 to 6 hours, if not more, at this museum. So it will fill up a lot of the day for you. And then you can just head down the streets of Fremont and enjoy some of the nightlife. So let me know if you visited the Mod Museum and what you think. As always, please like and subscribe and comment. Thanks. Bye-bye.